I was playing with a guitar player in Washington Heights, which is interestingly the neighborhood that I first grew up in. 211th Street and Broadway was where I was originally from. I found a guitar player who I was playing with, and one day I went over to his house, his apartment, and there was another guy there, and he said, "This is Gene, he writes songs, and this is Stan." At that time, I was Stanley. I still am, only now it's my last name. But I said, "Yeah, I write songs," and Gene said, "Oh, play me one." And I sat down and played him a song, which incidentally wound up on our first album, and he played me one song, which didn't. So I famously didn't take to him immediately, and when Steve, this other guitar player, said, "Why don't we have a band together?" I said, "Well, you can play with him, or you can play with me, but you're not going to play with us." Well, here we are 50 some odd years later, and I'm very fortunate to have been on that path with him.
So what's the key, what's the core of that friendship and collaboration?
Trust. I think that a great partnership is based on understanding its limitations. If you don't expect something from someone that they aren't equipped to give you, you won't be disappointed. And perhaps the times where I've been disappointed in Gene were times where I really should have said, that's not on his list. You know, that's not something that he excels at. So does he do things that I question? Does he say things that I don't want to align myself with? Does he behave in certain ways? Yeah, but that's not here or there. The core of what we have is a work ethic and a bond that's built on time. That's the amazing thing. There is no substitute in a relationship for time. You know that yourself. When you meet someone, there may be potential, but nothing comes of it without experience and seeing how each one of you respond to crises, to victories, to defeats, and that's what Gene and I have been through together. So the rest, we have totally different lives. Gene's a great guy. He says a lot of controversial things. I take things that he says with a grain of salt, and I think others should too.
And you once said that you could stand in your front yard and see his ego from where you were standing.
That's pretty on target. But pragmatism, I'm so lucky with what I have to about what could be different or better would be like winning the lottery and complaining about taxes. I have a life that I couldn't even anticipate or ever work towards.